Lucas. If you want to see my charts, I'm now live on YouTube. It's just Doey Trades. I won't be showing my charts on TikTok just because I'm always getting banned. So let's just have a little look at where gold is right now. I'm gonna literally mark out everything. We're just gonna do a whole analysis. Guys, please stop trying to invite me to these lives. Thank you so much for the rose though. I appreciate the support. So let's start by seeing where we are in market structure. If you guys are new here, I am looking at gold. Last week was definitely a really tricky week, so there was a lot of lessons learned there. So I know I'm going to be absolutely not rushing anything this week, really knuckling down. Oh my god, please stop trying to invite me to do battles. Oh my god. Right. Okay, so I've just marked up my daily key levels on gold. This is just basically my swing high and my swing low. We have got an area in the middle here because, as you can see, every time it has come into this area, we have got big reversals. I mean, gold has been consolidating now pretty much since April. Since April. And but the thing is, with gold, when it's been consolidating this much, the zone is so big that there's actually a lot of opportunities within it. But yeah, you still want to be more focused on those bigger moves. So I'm just going to go down. I'm just going to mark up my daily trend lines as well. So this is what I do when I'm just looking at the charts, guys. I'll literally start off by marking up my key zones, and then we'll kind of mark up all of the trend lines as well. So that means our counter trend lines. There's a lot of guys, if you want to see the full charts, just come over to YouTube because that is where I am streaming everything. I can't really be bothered for hate comments. I'm literally just showing you guys what I'm doing. There's no obligation with anything. It's all just sharing my journey. None of it's financial advice. If you don't like it, just keep scrolling. It's not the end of the world. If you are that bothered, your life is obviously very sad. Sorry to say it. There's nothing wrong with sharing your experience. So with gold, we have a lot of really steep trend lines. The original trend line, which makes gold bullish, is all the way down here. So we haven't come back down to this trend line since 2003 in October. And since then, we've created these steeper trend lines, which have been 3 of them, which they have all been respected. So again, this one here hasn't been back since 2024 in February. This one here, December 2024. And then this is the steepest one, which is the one that has recently been broken. Hi, MCR car sales. So guys, if you want to see what I'm actually talking about, just come over to YouTube. It is just Doey Trades. I'm live there. I've got my charts up now, so you'll be able to see what I'm talking you guys through. So I've literally just marked up my daily key zones, my daily trend lines, my bullish trend lines, and my counter trend lines. Unprofitable J Jit, is it? So I've had payouts, but yeah, all I'm doing is sharing my journey, sharing the way that I trade, and just trying to connect with people who trade. Thank you so much for the follows. But yeah, if you are wanting to see the full charts, just head over to YouTube. I'm literally giving you guys a rundown of gold. I haven't even looked at the charts today, so we're literally doing my analysis that I would do at the beginning of the day. So yeah, we have had this break of this upward trend line, and we have this counter trend line which has been respecting. If we look here, we've literally respected it 1, 2, 3 times. So right now we're kind of at a midway point, which is a really awkward point because we're not at any kind of major key reversal zones. So I guess you could argue potentially, because gold is consolidating, it can really do anything within these zones, but we want to stack our probabilities. So right now, what I'm looking at is we're kind of midway through market structure. We're not at a daily key zone. We're literally in the middle. We're not at a trend line. We're in the middle. So this is probably going to be quite a hard one for me to want to trade when we're at this kind of stage. Let's have a look at now what we're doing on the lower time frames. So on the 4 hour, if we look here, since we respected this trend line, we have been moving in a downtrend. So, we could potentially see something like this. So we started here, we've created a higher low, a lower high. Looks like we could be rejecting. So, potentially to come back down to this key zone down here. So right now, the 4 hour, the previous 4 hour was a very strong bullish candle. It engulfed all of this structure on the 4 hour. Let's have a little look again on the lower time frame. So the 1 hour. So what I'm going to do actually on the 4 hour is create a trend line like this. So I'm just going to mark out. So the purple ones are your daily, green is your 4 hour. So the way that I like to trade is I like to trade from key zones, potential continuations, and also breakout of trend lines. So right now, we're not breaking out of any trend line, so that's not in the cards. On the 4 hour, it does look quite clear that this right here is a bearish trend. Let me just see if we've got any comments. MC, is it Flash? Are you a scalper or a swing trader? So actually, originally I was a swing trader. No, not a swing trader, sorry, a scalper. And I'll show you the way that I used to scalp the market. But I'm trying to transition into at least an intraday trader first. But eventually I would like to be a swing trader. But, going from a scalper to a swing trader is, you got to have serious mindset. Thank you so much for liking the stream, guys. Please don't forget to double tap the stream on both if you can, YouTube and TikTok. I would really appreciate you guys. But yeah, so let's just have a little look on the lower time frames. So right now we are in that bearish momentum. So, and this is how we know this. This here was a structural low on the 4 hour. We broke through, we corrected, and then we pushed down. So this right here is another structural low that we pushed through. We have this indication, but this was that last previous high. And when price is moving in a trend, so the trend that it's showing right now is supposedly meant to be a bearish trend, we should not create a higher high. We should be creating a higher low. So really, price created an equal high here. Hi Mick, so I'm looking at gold. If you want to see the full charts, just come over to YouTube. I've got my full charts there, and I'm just talking through what I'm looking at. I haven't even looked at the charts today, so we're doing like a full top-down analysis. I've got my Think Capital account up. It's a 100k account. So yeah, I wanted to come on here and see if we can find any setups and talk you guys through it. So yeah, if you guys want to see that, just head over to YouTube now. Yeah, so like I said, this should not create an equal high, really. We need to start seeing really big rejection here. Because if this 4 hour breaks above here, then this no longer validates our bearish trend, because now it's created a higher high. Thank you so much, Mick. I really appreciate it if you guys can come over to YouTube. I'm trying to create a community over on YouTube, just because, you know, if I know you've come over to YouTube, you're a little bit more serious than just people flicking through on TikTok. But yeah, I can't show my charts on TikTok because I'm on my final warning. They have said I've been banned like 5 times every time I show my charts. I mean, it just flags up. I don't think TikTok really likes traders because there's a lot of scammers there. And just on that note as well, there are a lot of scam accounts pretending to be me, so please be aware of that. Like, I will never ever message you first unless we've been speaking on here and I've said, look, I'm going to message you directly. If I haven't said that, then if you get a message from me, it's not me. I'll never ask you for money. I'll never ask you to pay me in crypto, nothing like that. So just please just report the account. This is my only account. Thank you so much, Joseph. Appreciate it. Message me. Less is more. Why do you need me to message you? Less is more. But yeah, let's have a little look on the 1 hour. Let's see what this is saying. So right now on the 4 hour we are bearish. On the 1 hour, technically we are potentially turning bullish, but what that means is that we're just pulling back on the 4 hour. So in all honesty, where I am just not going to be rushing to do anything, ideally I want to see where this 4 hour closes, because where this 4 hour closes, we could either potentially have a breakout of a trend line, or we could start having a reversal. Because if the 4 hour doesn't close below this last high and we create a higher high, then we are no longer in this bearish trend, and we could be looking now for a buy position. So less is more. If you just drop me a message after this live, we can have a little chat, because I do have communities. I have someone who I learn from, and he is incredible, very, very much data driven. If you are looking for a community, I have a free Discord. The link for the Discord is in the YouTube channel. So any traders want to be part of a community, then you can just join for free. Joseph, I'm looking at gold and the US dollar. Why don't I use TradingView? Why, like, I'm not really too sure why you're asking why I don't use TradingView. This is just the prop firm that I'm using. So Obviously, I can use TradingView just to analyze the charts, but you know, if I want to trade, I'm going to trade off my account. The good thing about Think Capital is they have integrated TradingView into their platform, so it's pretty much the same as TradingView. Doesn't make a difference. It literally looks exactly the same. Gold, a good investment to buy. I would say gold is a good long-term investment. Why does everyone invest in gold? Because it's been bullish forever. If you don't know what bullish means, then I just mean it has just been going up in value. Okay, so right, I'm not sure why the 4 hour has just closed, because I thought the 4 hour closed at 10 a.m. UK time. Have the clocks gone back? And exactly that, funded in progress. It's the safe haven. It's literally just it's always gone up in value. And in the last recent years, it's gone up in value so much. So if you invested in gold 3 years ago, you know, you would be in a very good place right now. And I do believe it will still go up. So guys, I'm not too sure why this 4 hour has closed now, because I actually thought it closed at 10 a.m. Can anyone help me out with that? But it has closed above this last high. Let's have a look on the 1 hour. We have, so this right here is low. This is a high here. And we've broken above it. So now, what we want to wait for is the correction to happen. So when gold gives you that indication, so we've started here as the low, we've got that high here, we're going to have a correction, and then a new high. Thank you, Joseph. So it depends, user 124. I think it's a really good idea to actually buy physical gold, definitely. But if you're looking for cash flow, then trading gold is also a really good thing. Morning, Dan. Hope you're good. But yeah, so right now there isn't a lot that we can do, but potentially right now my bias is bullish. Let's have a look at what's happening on the 15-minute. So yeah, what we want to see right now on the 15-minute, even though the 1 hour, the 4 hour is looking potentially bullish, the 15-minute will potentially show the correction. So the correction will be bearish. So we need to just basically wait until price then starts to turn back bullish on the 15-minute. So right now there's just nothing that we can do. And someone asked me if I used to be a scalper, or if I was a scalper or a swing trader. Let me just show you guys the way that I used to, the strategy that I used to use for scalping. So I used to just basically trade the support and resistance breakouts on the 15-minute. So that's where I would get my entry. So let me just give you an example. We need to mark up our resistance. So let's just say this here, right here is our resistance. We want to wait for it to break through. You just need to make sure that the higher time frames are on your bias. So at the time, potentially on the 4 hour, we were turning bullish. The 1 hour looked bullish. So yeah, we get a break. So what I mean by a break is our candle body closes outside of the resistance. Now, this here, you could have potentially entered, but it would have taken a bit longer for it to go your way. But ideally what we would want is this candle, this red candle here, to show us a retest by wicking down. So what a wick shows you is that price tried to move in that direction, and then we want that rejection and that flip back up. You would potentially take your buy position here, You would take a buy position here as it passes the last previous wick on the last candle. Very, very tight stop loss, just the other side of the wick so that you can up your lot size. And then you're looking for a 1 to 2 or a 1 to 1 if you're a scalper. So yeah, if we're going to head for a 1 to 2, pretty much just smash that, and that's basically how I used to trade. Whereas now I'm like trying to really find like those bigger movements. Just because I sometimes, well, not sometimes, I kind of felt like I would miss these trades because it did really matter about your entry and you had to really be watching the market. And just sit and wait, whereas right now, we just want to figure out where we're at and then we can just come back instead of sitting here and just purely waiting. But yeah, so right now, we've had that break to the upside. So I, as a scalper, would always be trying to catch that first move. Now, as the intraday slash swing trader, we're trying to catch that second move after the correction has happened. And I'm not saying that this can't work, if it appears when I am on the markets, then brilliant. But a lot of the time now, I'm waiting for the correction to happen on the higher time frame before we find our entry. So let's just have a little look. Like I said, this is the 1 hour. We had this break to the upside, which is the extension, showing us, okay, this is our new high. This is our low down here. Anything between, here all the way down, as long as it doesn't break this low, we're looking for buys. But we're just waiting for price to correct itself by giving us a pullback. You guys are not responding. Responding to what? Oh, sorry. I didn't even see your comment there. Sorry, user 124. Right now, gold prices for gold coins are 90 a gram. Is it still worth? So, like I said, I'm not trying to give anyone financial advice. I'm just saying gold has always been known to be a safe haven. It has progressively gone up throughout the years, pretty much ever since, there was value of gold. It's always gone up in value. It's never really come down fully. And I do believe gold will continue to go up. Because when there's financial crisis, when there's war, when there's things going on in the world, people like to invest in safe things such as gold. Gold is something that I physically want to invest in. Silver and copper are also other metals that I would want to invest in. But that's what I want to do. I'm not telling you guys to do that, so please don't take this as financial advice. That's just my opinion. Thank you so much for the follows, guys. What's a gold stock called? I don't buy gold stock. I trade gold on the forex market or the futures market. So that's XAU. And then if I'm trading on forex, it's XAU USD. So that's how I will. That's how I get cash flow, by trading daily or weekly. But if I wanted that long-term investment, then I would focus on actually physically buying it. Let's just see. Guys on YouTube, if you've got any questions or want me to go through anything, just let me know. So guys, if you're like completely new, my mentor has, he's got a community, where it's not really like, mentoring. It's more of a community to trade alongside other people who are also in your position. And I think it's really, really important to have like-minded people around you. So if you want to have a conversation about that, then please feel free to message me. If you're actually serious, then yeah, just message me. But if you just want to see what I'm doing, see how I'm trading, then just subscribe to my YouTube, because I'm gonna be going live quite a lot. But yeah, so right now in the markets, there's really not a lot that we can do. Because we just gotta wait until price actually gives us something. You know, gold, not gold, but like the market in general on a Monday can sometimes be a bit slow. You know, it's trying to find its feet. Let's just have a little look and see if we've got any news today. No news today, so quiet day, which is nice. I'm gonna just seen a message on WAP in the group, so I'm just actually gonna get that up. Show you guys around a little bit. That chat box is so annoying right there, isn't it? Gonna put you up there, guys. What pairs do I typically trade? So I mainly trade gold. That's what we've been looking at right now. XRP. I've literally just done a top-down analysis on gold. Right now, we are in the correction phase of a potential bullish movement. So on the 1 hour, the 4 hour is now looking like it has turned bullish. The 1 hour is bullish. We've had an extension to the upside, but now we are getting a bit of a pullback. So once that pullback is done, then we will wait, and basically how we know it's done is it goes from being a bearish trend to a bullish trend on the lower time frame. So ideally the 15-minute, because sometimes the 5-minute can be really manipulative, and honestly last week that really caught me out quite a lot of times. So I still prefer to wait for the 15-minute to show me more. So right now you can clearly see it created a high low. It's looking like it wants to break this low here. So we're just going to have to wait until this correction is done, wait for it to turn bullish again, and then potentially look for a position at least back up to the high. Okay, so any tips for FPL? I don't trade that. How do people day trade, short trade? So user 124, what the way that people trade, like, you know, daily, you're either gonna need to use a broker if you've got enough money to invest. If you've got money to invest yourself, I would definitely recommend a broker. So that's like 1,000 above. If you don't, then you can use something called a prop firm, which you can leverage higher amounts of money and then keep profits from it. But you're going to need to learn how to trade. So if you don't know how to trade, there is no point just spending money on a prop firm. You know, you got to learn how to do this first. Can I follow your trades? Black Storm, I'm live right now on YouTube, so if you guys want to see the chart, see what I'm actually looking at, then just head over to YouTube. It's just Doey Trade.